Hey guys, Metal Breakdown here. So welcome to one of my favorite videos that I'm doing every year, and that is a top 20 of all the best albums that came out this year in 2018. It will be my third consecutive year that I'm doing this kind of video. I did it in 2016, did not work really well because I had a really small fan base. In 2017, it went super well, but it was the best year for this channel. This year it was not as good, but hopefully this video will do well because last year one of the part of this two-part video did like 3,000 views, so hopefully we'll get something similar. But I know I'm a bit late because usually I try to put out this video earlier than this in December, but I was not able to do that this year. And by the way, this video is including all the albums that were released from December 2017 to November 2018. But you'll see there's only like one December 2017 album in the list. I'll talk about that later. So yeah, let's start with this kind of ranking already. So in the 20th position, I went with Gravity by Bullet for my Valentine. No, don't throw stones at me, guys. Let me explain myself. It's a great album. Not as good as what they can do. They did something way better with Venom, but they tried something new, and it's not as bad as people makes it sound. Like, maybe I put it in my top 20 mainly to prove a point that it's not as bad as people are telling you it's bad. Because yeah, they tried something new. Did it work? Maybe not at 100%, but there's some good things and some bad things to learn from this album. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Gravity by Bullet for my Valentine. In the 19th position, I went with Misery by the Medi Affliction, and with each album I'll try to tell you guys if it met the expectations, if it was a new band for me. Anyway, I'll tell you everything. For the Medi Affliction, I don't know their entire discography, but I know the last two albums that came out before Misery, and it was on the same level as the last two, I would say. They also tried something a bit newer with some electronic stuff on this album, but it's not like all over the place, and it's not that big of a change in their sound. So yeah, I would say it met the expectations, and it was like on the level of the previous albums. In the 18th position, I went with Avatar Country. That is by Avatar. That is a band that I discovered really late last year, if I remember correctly. So that was my first new album by Avatar. Really discovered them this year. Mainly saw them live with Trivium in October. They're a fantastic band. This album is great. My favorite song is probably King's Harvest. Super heavy. And yeah, it's a great album, but I think it could have been even higher without the two last songs on the album. They're good, but instrumental, not two in a row, and not as an album like closure, because maybe with one outro, but not two. So that's the thing I love less about this album, but overall, the theme was great, and yeah, I had fun listening to it throughout 2018. After that, in the 17th position, and yeah, I'm always looking like on that side, but it's because I have like a big board with all my rankings, so I'm just looking at it to be sure. It was so hard to make this top 20. I did it over and over and over again because I was always changing my mind, but I think that's the best I can do right now. So yeah, in the 17th position, I went with Catharsis by Machine Head. Here it was a bit of disappointment. It's a good album because yeah, it made the top 20, and there's so many albums that could have been on that list. But the reason why I'm saying it was a disappointment is because I was expecting so much from this band after Bloodstones and Diamonds, which was fantastic. Would have been like top 5 albums. So yeah, they did a great job. There's a lot of great songs on it, but maybe I'm not that much of a fan of the return to some kind of new metal sound, and it's sad because two of the members of Machine Head who made that album are not in the band anymore, so we'll see where it will go next. So it was a decent album, but could have been better because we know what they're able to do with the Blackening, Bloodstones, Locust. They're a fantastic band. In the 16th position, Reverence by Parkour Drive. And here, yeah, it's in the 16th position, so it's really not that bad, but I'll be honest with you guys, biggest disappointment of the year. And I enjoyed that album. I listened to it throughout the entire year, and Wishing Well is probably one of my favorite songs of 2018. But I was expecting so much. Higher was my favorite album with Meliora by Ghost in 2015. So with Reverence, I thought I would have another album of the year, but it's so far from being an album of the year, even though it's pretty good. I just think the album sounds way more like European, and I'm not a big fan of that. There's some great songs, but yeah, I'm disappointed because I was expecting so much from it, like so much. Anyway, in the 15th position, I went with Defy by Of Mice and Men. First album without Austin Carlisle, and a huge thumbs up to the guys in Of Mice and Men because it's better than the previous one, Cold World. And it was hard to do an album without Austin because he was there on all the record, and yeah, they had to change their sound because they have a different singer now. But they did such a great job. Favorite song from the album is Instinct, and apparently they already have a new album coming out next year, so I'll definitely keep a look on that. But if it's even heavier, I'm all for it. So great job this year, Of Mice and Men. You blew me away with this album. In the 14th position, I went with Love Will Kill All by Bleeding True. I discovered this band this year, a bit before they announced that album. A fantastic album from start to finish. I love all the black metal influence and death metal influence in the metalcore sound. It's not something that we hear really often, but they did a great job, a great comeback album, and hopefully I'll be able to see these guys live. That would be an absolute incredible night. In the 13th position, I went with Victim of the New Disease by All That Remain. By the way, rest in peace to the guitarist of All That Remains, Ollie Herbert. So sad that he passed away. This album is amazing. Would have been insane to see him tour on it. I already had the chance to see him twice live. Such a great guitar player. But yeah, huge props to All That Remains for that album, which is a huge step ahead of Madness last album, which was like a big, really mainstream album and really not my thing. It was more like a return to their old school sound, more like the Fall of Ideals. A bit more mainstream though, but it was a good big step in the right direction, so I really enjoyed that album. And by the way, even the song with Danny Worsnop from Asking Alexandria, which is a ballad, is so good. So they don't always have to be heavy, but as long as the soft songs are well done, I'm happy about it. Talking about Danny Worsnop. In the 12th position, I went with the self-titled by Asking Alexandria. This is the album that was released in December 2017. Never in a lifetime I thought I would include this album in my top 20. I remember in December last year I was at a record store and the guy asked me, do you want to purchase this album, the new album by Asking Alexandria? I was like, no, I hate this band, they're horrible. But I kind of learned to love them, especially this new album. It's kind of like their That's the Spirit by Bring Me the Horizon, but really old Asking Alexandria. Like, it doesn't sound like That's the Spirit. That's not what I want to say, because it's not at all like That's the Spirit, but that's what they did. They completely changed their sound for something completely new, completely modern, far away from their metalcore sound, and it's so good. Like, I listened to it a lot recently, so maybe that's why it's that high, but they did such a great job, and maybe if they pushed even more like in that direction with the next album, they could be like one of the biggest band of the modern age of metal, because they really did something great here. And yeah, they should keep pushing forward into that direction, because yeah, they did great. And the last album that I'll talk about in this video, in the 11th position, is Revival by Light the Torch. By the way, I really have to shut down that fucking alarm for the next part of this video, because it's so fucking annoying. Anyway, Revival by Light the Torch, the band of Howard Jones, who was in Killswitch Engage previously. We should stop associating him with Killswitch. I think he hates that, but yeah, that's what he's known for. Such a great album, such a good album from start to finish. I thought it was really heavy until I listened to the 2 albums by The Devil You Know, which was the previous name of this same band. But even though it's a bit softer and more accessible, it's just such a fun album to listen from start to finish. Not really complicated or anything, but just an album to have fun with. And I also saw this band with Trivium this fall in Chicago, and it was such a banger. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this first part of this long video. That's why I'm skipping it into 2 parts. In the next part, guys, I'll talk about my top 10 for the best album of 2018. So if you don't want to miss that, just stick around in the last 20 seconds of this video. The video will appear, you'll be able to click on it. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I'll see you all in the next part. Make sure to subscribe already to not miss anything. Thank you so much for watching and taking the time to check out my video. It means so much to me. See you in the next part.